The Houston Texans won the division last season with an 11-5 record, but the biggest story of the year was how much they had to get better up front along the offensive line. And you can see how important that was by how they attacked the first two rounds of the 2019 NFL Draft. Even adding tight end Kahale Warring out of San Diego State helps them out not only in the passing game, but also in the running game, as he's a very good inline blocker. What I liked most about the Texans draft was offensive tackle Titus Howard out of Alabama State. I'm a big fan of how he competed on film. Didn't take any downs off. He couldn't if he wanted to, as he was that important to the Hornets offense. He still got some growth and development left in his game, and this was a smart selection for the Texans. I also thought Lonnie Johnson was one of the better corners in college football. He's one of the more fluid corners on film and was flat out dominant at the Reese's Senior Bowl. Charles Omenihu out of Texas displayed top-notch technique on film and is your ideal 5-tech type of a defensive lineman. I thought he did a great job using his length to his advantage, being disruptive up front for the Texas Longhorns. Derek Beatty was just as excellent as his Wildcat teammate Lonnie Johnson. He's another technically sound corner that uses his length really well, especially with regards to pressing a receiver. I view his signing as a big-time steal for Houston. Jamal Davis II out of Akron is another one. I watched 3 random Akron games, and he was always involved in something. He reminds me a lot of former New England Patriots standout Jabal Sheard. Despite the talent they already have on the roster, the Houston Texans have had some injury concerns with their receiving core. So when you look at a guy like Johnny Dixon out of Ohio State and his ability to not only be a talented wideout, but to be consistently available, gives him a great opportunity to stick here in Houston. Karan Higdon out of Michigan is what I like to call a chain mover type of a back. He was always falling forward, didn't waste any movements, and was super productive for the Wolverines. Higdon is also a solid receiver out of the backfield and can be productive in spot duty as well, as he doesn't need volume to get going. Tyron Johnson out of Oklahoma State is a bit raw as a prospect and is still beginning to scratch the surface of his potential. He's long, athletic, and doesn't mind sacrificing his body for the catch. Chris Johnson of North Alabama reminds me a lot of former Atlanta Falcons free safety Scott Case, and all went way back there, but he does a fantastic job of getting off the middle of the field to the sideline to break up a play. Johnson also has great ball skills and was solid all week long at the Shrine game. I gave the Texans a B+ for their draft. They addressed their offensive line concerns with both Titus Howard and Max Sharping out of Northern Illinois, while also landing some stud defenders both in the draft and in the undrafted free agent market at every level of their defense. So this was a solid haul overall for Houston.